I'd give myself about a B. I feel like there are a lot of things that I can tighten up, just routine plays that I can just sharpen up. But I felt like I made a few big plays here and there. I had a big third down conversion, had that touchdown, which I was really happy with. But I really want to get down those routine plays to where we're just consistently moving the ball down the field. I know the deep ball will be there. That's my best strength. It has been since high school. But for me, it's now tightening up my run reads and then just those quick passes.
Every position has their position goals. What were the quarterback's position goals as of today?
So one thing we're really focusing on is our completion percentage. Last year, I feel like we struggled a little bit in that area. So we're working on getting our completion percentage up to 68%, which would be ginormous if we could do that during the season. I don't feel like a team in the country could stop us if we are just completing the balls, moving. And then one thing we're really working on with Coach Mendenhall is just our tempo and our timing. Catch and throw, because the defense gets frustrated, they start jumping routes, and then boom, we're hitting the big plays over the top. Just like actually what Taysom did. We ran the same play that we'd been running, but we just tagged on a streak right down the middle, and boom, touchdown.
Moving out from the quarterback position to the overall team goal and strategy, what was today's overall strategy and goals?
I would say today's main goal is we just wanted to get better as a team and really see who's going to emerge. I mean, that's what these early scrimmages are about, is who's going to be a playmaker. And I know Coach Beck went up to Trey Dye and he's like, hey, you can be a guy this year. You can step in and play right now, but the quarterbacks don't have a lot of trust in you because you don't know the plays. We need you to get in the playbook, start learning the plays. And I feel like it goes across the board. We're seeing who's going to step up and make big plays. And I mean, Devon, you can see that, I mean, you've been to practice. He's been catching those deep balls, and I think we'll really begin to trust him, and he's going to have a role this year.
Yeah, when you look at the younger guys getting opportunity to play, who in your mind kind of stood out and kind of proved themselves today, given today's goals and objectives?
The person I'm most happy for is Adam Hine. I feel like, I mean, he's playing behind Jamal, Algie, Paul, who are phenomenal backs, and given a chance, you see that he runs hard, and he's getting 5 yards a pop. So I was really impressed with him. And then for me, I just talked about him, but Trey Dye, I mean, he just showed that he's shifty, he's fast, and when he gets out in the open field, he can pull away from people. So I'm really excited for him. And one guy that maybe today didn't have a breakout day was Colby Pearson, but I've really gained a lot of faith in him, and I know that I've been talking with Taysom and Coach Beck about him, and he might start rolling with the ones because he's been, I mean, having a great fall camp.
Take me into your mindset as you go through progressions of, is there a guy that if things go bad, you know, okay, I at least want to give this receiver a chance more than maybe the other?
Well, with Taysom, he has the luxury of having Mitch Matthews, Ross, Nick Kurtz. I mean, he's got those 6'6" guys that he can just put it out there. So for me, it's a little bit different. I've got to really read the defense, and I mean, if we get a press corner and I've got Devon out there, I'm signaling him a fade and we're just throwing it out there because I know in a foot race nobody's going to hang with him. But also one thing that's been big for me this fall camp is hitting my check down. Nate Carter, he's done a heck of a job for me at running back. And on this big third down that we had early on in the scrimmage, everybody dropped back and there was nobody open, and I just scrambled and hit Nate, and he had a 20 to 30 yard gain on a check down. So that's really been a big thing for me. You watch some of the great quarterbacks and they're just dumping it off and getting big gains with the backs.
When you went to Snow, was your intention to try and get back to BYU at some point?
Thank you. I was bitter at BYU, I'll be honest. I was very bitter. I didn't feel like I left on the best note. And I wanted to go big time. I wanted to go Pac-12, SEC. I wanted to go somewhere big, but it just turned out, I don't know why. I just feel like it was meant to be that I ended up back at BYU. And I don't know if you know the story, but I didn't come back here to play football.
Oh, okay.
It was weird. I was the second leading passer in the country at a junior college. I had 39 touchdowns. We finished third in the country, and I didn't get one Division I offer. And it was funny, my coach, he was trying to get me recruited, and he said, if this was last year, you'd have 15 offers on the table, but apparently this year they don't need quarterbacks. So I came back to BYU because I was a 4.0 student down at Snow, and I wanted an accounting degree at BYU. Academics is super important. So I came back and was just going to school. They were starting up spring ball or spring practices, and
is this
so last spring, not this, just this last spring. Exactly.
Okay.
And Coach Omer, who our strength and conditioning coach, he cornered me in Sunday school. He's in my home ward, and I went with my dad for some reason, and he cornered me. He's like, "Hey, we need you on our team. Like, we need a third string quarterback that can play in this new offense. Like, you're coming back. I'm calling Coach Mendenhall tomorrow." We called Coach Mendenhall, and just turned out that I came and ended up, winning the backup spot last year, and I feel like I'm really doing well this year, ready to play if Taysom goes down.
How'd you overcome the bitterness?
It's pretty easy. What better place to be in the world than BYU? I grew up in Orem, grew up sitting right in those stands over there. We had season tickets, and it's always been my dream to play here. And once I got a real shot where I feel like I was able to prove myself, it's easy. I love it here, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Do you feel like you've been given more reps in fall just in case, more than maybe last year?
No, I don't think that I'm getting more reps. I know I had read a few things where it seemed like I was getting more reps than usual, but last year me and Ammon were splitting reps, so it seemed like we're getting less reps, but really we're getting just as many reps. I'm getting just as many reps. But it's nice because I don't have to split it now, and so I feel like I'm really fine-tuning the small details and really going to be in stride once the season comes, and I'll be ready to play.
Are these receivers as good as people kind of make them out to be? They look pretty impressive, but tall guys, speed guys?
Yeah, we are covered across the board. There's not one type of guy that we don't have, and we're really excited about this receiving core. And if you've been attending our practices, you see that we're chucking the ball, we're throwing touchdowns left and right, whether it's on the deep ball underneath and they're taking it to the house. We're stacked across the board.